Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Postgame podcast. God damn, that feels good to say. Hawks win 2-1. That feels good to say. In overtime over the St. Louis Blues. That feels good to say. It is a feel-good night here at CHGO Sports. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen. Well, it's a feel-good night in here. Let's be specific.
Yeah, Studio A is a little
yeah.
They're a little ouchy right now. But hey, who cares about the Cubs? It's Blackhawks season.
It is. It's hockey season. It is here, and boy, what a fun night to be back at the UC. I hope everyone enjoyed either being at the game or watching the game at home. Before we get started, let's get in the habit of smashing that like button right away. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. Podcast listeners, we thank you for listening after the show goes live. Remember, you can always watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/CHGO Sports. Even when the show is over live, it still lives there on YouTube. But if you're a podcast listener, that's mostly what I am, to be fair. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So let's start where everybody wants us to start. This is the first time Connor Bedard stepped on the United Center ice in any sort of competitive game. And we were talking about it right before the show started. And I asked the room, Steven and Greg, am I wrong to say Connor Bedard was the best player on the ice? And he was. He was absolutely everything that we thought he would be. He did not score a goal, but he assisted on both Hawks goals tonight. And it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, he had the 2 assists. The first assist on the Kurashev goal was off a rebound from his shot, but he drove harder than that. But the puck on that rebound bounced out. Kurashev showed off some silky mitts, as the kids say, to lift that puck over. He did. Good for him. We got the expectations have grown for Philipp Kurashev, and so far he's answered the bell. The game-winning goal in overtime. I mean, that pass to Athanasiou, it's
beautiful. I'm sure people saw the pass he made to Taylor Hall in the scrimmage this week. The little backhand saucer pass, very similar. And this is my first time seeing Bedard play live in a game that matters. And, well, it doesn't matter, but you know what I mean. In like an actual competitive game. And don't short sell him defensively. Now, he's not Patrice Bergeron. He's not Andrei Kopitar. He's not Pavel Datsyuk.
Not yet.
But willing. Broke up a pair of good scoring chances for the Blues with back check, stick lifts, finished a check. He is engaged. He is involved. He is a center.
It was weird seeing a smaller player with a large number that ends in 8 get so active in the defensive zone.
Yes.
I had to do a double take a few times because I'm so used to seeing another smallish player with a big number that ends in 8 that has had no interest in playing defense for a long time. Connor Bedard plays all the phases of the game. Yeah. He's out there. His head is up at all times. You could tell he wants to be a two-way center. Obviously, he's drafted number 1 overall because of what he could do with the puck in the offensive zone. But a couple of really great plays that stick lift in the first period probably saved a goal. Because the puck was coming.
And was it not Pavel Buchnevich who he did it to? Like a legit one of the few legit NHLers the Blues had. I think it was.
I didn't get the number when it happened. I was too busy writing it down. Yeah. But, he back checks. He makes sure he gets back defensively. He's aware of what's going on around him. He's not just, okay, I didn't get my shot in the offensive zone, so now I'm just going to take my time getting back on defense. No, he's prioritizing playing defense. Those little things that we didn't really we don't see in training camp, we don't see in scrimmages, the things he does when he doesn't have the puck were very impressive tonight.
No doubt. More on Bedard here in a second, but here's his line. 2 assists plus 2. He won 62.5% of his faceoffs. Led the team. Him and Wyatt Kaiser actually both had 5 shots on goal. 21:42 of ice time. That led all forwards for the Hawks. It also was second on the team in total ice time behind only, you guessed it, Seth Jones, who played 25-12 of this game. Okay, couple things you should know about that we're doing a little bit differently this year, and we're still kind of finalizing how we're going to do regular season things. But if you're on the YouTube now, you see we've got a poll up right now where you get to vote on the 4th star of the night. The 3 stars of the game were, as I call up my thing here, hello. It's preseason for all of us, damn it. Where did it go? I think number 3 was Kurashev. I think number 2 was Bedard. Yes, number 3 was Kurashev. Number 2 was Bedard. Number 1 was Andreas Athanasiou, who had the game winner. So the options we gave you for 4th star of the night: Drew Commesso, more on him later; Corey Perry, our Pudwack; and Kevin Korchinski, who also had a very solid game. Assist +1. He had 3 shots on goal, 21-10 of ice time for him. So there's a lot to get to in this one, but we're sort of letting you vote on the 4 stars. Also, before every game this year, we're going to we're calling it Who's Your Hawk, where it's our version of Pick to Click, where we each pick a guy, and we've got a scoring system designed, and after each game, we'll run the numbers and say who won, and at the end of the year, the winner will get dinner or something on the other 2 of us. And so far, Greg Boysen is 1-0.
We came up with a really intensive tiebreaker system in the press box because as we were like midway through the second period, we realized we all had 0 points.
Yes.
So what are we going to do? And then we came up with the tiebreaker system. A good thing. More on that later, because Mario and I finished tied thanks to our super scientific point system. So we had to break out the tiebreaker. But it should be a lot of fun, kind of bringing a fantasy hockey element to our broadcast and letting you guys vote for the 4th star of the game as opposed to just us bringing it on. We'll have that every game, so it should be a lot of fun. And we're going to have some sort of wearable trophy for the regular season. we got to remember who's checking that in their luggage to Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's a good question. We got to get it by then. We got to have Charlie the Bacon Guy send it to us in time for the trip. But we will be in Pittsburgh. We confirmed that today. Pittsburgh only, no Boston, but happy to be there for Connor Bedard's official NHL debut in Pittsburgh.
Yes, we'll be broadcasting live from Pittsburgh after the regular season opener, and then the next night we'll be back here for the Boston post-game show, which might be a little bit of a sleepy post-game show.
That's all right. We'll get through it.
We're going to get the caffeine for that one because that's going to be a long couple of days, but totally worth it.
Updating your vote for the 4 star of the night. So far, Kevin Korchinski in the lead with 57% of the vote. Drew Commesso with 26, and Corey Perry with 17. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the kids in this game because, frankly, thought a lot of the kids were the best Hawks on the ice. But welcome to Chicago, Corey Perry.
I told you.
You nailed it.
I told you all it was going to take 3 shifts for Blackhawk fans to love Corey Perry. And what the F happened tonight?
I don't think it took that long.
Martin Miziak gets a cheap shot from some pudwack named Skinner on the Blues. High hit to the face. Goes down right away. Corey Perry jumps on Skinner, wails away on him a little bit, and gets a standing ovation. I told you. It wasn't even Connor Bedard that he went to the rescue for. This is exactly what he brings. And there were like a smattering of booze in the pregame skate.
Yeah, there was one guy who,
the
first time Perry touches the puck, boo! Like just a real quick.
And then 5 minutes later, he's cheering it.
It was the loudest pop of the night aside from the game-winning goal.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I remember in this summer when I said, wouldn't it be great out of jest if the Blackhawks signed? And as soon as they did, I was like, I freaking love this. I love every second of it. I hope he gets the A for the whole season. Yeah, I really do. I kind of wanted them to name him captain just to watch Blackhawks fans.
Oh my God,
heads explode.
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
I love everything about Corey Perry. I can't believe I'm saying these things, but if he's doing that in a preseason game, just wait.
Yeah,
just wait. He's going to be the most popular guy on the team, not named Connor Bedard.
Yeah, and our first super chat of the Connor Bedard era is about Corey Perry, actually.
Yes.
I missed hockey. This is from McBaconator. Young guys are fun to watch, but I need a Perry as our Pardwack shirt. Please make that happen. I love that idea.
Can't use his name.
The worry about we don't want him to take it wrong.
We don't want him punching us.
Right.
Because we have to actually see him every day.
Yes,
and
exactly.
talk to him. Yeah, so I don't know. I would love He's Our Pudwack, hashtag He's Our Pudwack.
Yeah.
We couldn't use his name if we wanted to, but
Maybe we get our friends at Obvious Shirts involved in that one. Seems
Maybe.
easy enough to produce, and
because then you can get mad at those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Pass the buck.
Hey, you know what though? If anyone takes pride in the way he plays, it's Corey Perry. And someone in the chat said he's AJ Pierzynski, and that's actually a really good comparison because it's a guy you absolutely loathe.
But I actually like Corey Perry now. I never liked AJ Pierzynski.
Well, but if he was on your team, you'd probably like him a little better.
Probably.
That's all I'm saying.
Him getting punched in the face was one of my favorite moments of all time.
Absolutely. So anyway, a lot of fun today. So let's get back to some of the kids in this game. And we talked about Kevin Korchinski, who's currently leading our 4-star vote. And boy, you want to talk about, I thought early in the game looked a little nervous, a little tentative with the puck. But then as the game went on and he got in the flow, man, he was activating over and over again. And there was a point in the third period where takes the puck deep, gets behind the Blues net, and then I kind of took my eye off of him for a second because I was looking to see who was available for a pass, right? So somehow the puck makes its way out to center ice. And I look back, and Korchinski is racing from behind the Blues goal back to center ice to retrieve the puck again, putting his speed on display, putting his awareness on display. Couple episodes where he pinched in. There's one where he got in deep in the zone and like from along the blue line, took a shot, hit the Blues goalie right in the mask. Yep. Like he is aggressive. He is confident. I think a lot of the young guys played well defensively. I'm going to write about that in our Hawks hits, which are coming up after the game here. But Korchinski played, I don't want to say flawless. Of course, there's those moments there, but like no one played flawless. First preseason game.
He didn't look out of place.
No.
We didn't think he looked out of place last preseason either. I think it's fairly obvious he's going to be in Pittsburgh with us for opening night and playing.
I believe so, yes. That'd be a shock if he's not.
I know a lot of people are talking about Wyatt Kaiser, who overall had a good game.
Yeah.
But there were some iffy moments. We talked about it the other day when Mario brought up Derek King's quote about sometimes you got to get the junior out of these guys.
Absolutely.
There were about 2 or 3 times he tried to make passes that he would get away with in college. You ain't getting away with, you not getting away with those in a preseason game. You're definitely a couple of no-look, soft passes to the middle of the ice that were picked off. Mm-hmm. Those are coachable. Those are the video moments. Those are where you sit them down and say, all right, instead of doing this, next time just get it up the boards. Make the safe play.
Yes.
Look for your defensive partner. Maybe there wasn't a lot of communication on those plays, so that's a team teaching moment where you say, hey, if you see your guy and you got to communicate.
Yes.
It wasn't a half empty arena tonight, so the communication shouldn't have been an issue.
You could hear,
I could hear the guys on the ice. So those are coachable moments. Those are things that, yes, they were mistakes, but this is when you make those mistakes.
Yes.
Sit down and video tomorrow. I'm sure Luke's going to pull those out and say, okay, instead of what you did there, you see, you've got help along the boards, or just put it back behind your blue line, let your partner pick it up, start over. There's safer plays to make, and he'll make those plays.
Yeah, and Luke said early in camp, like with young defensemen, it's easier to teach them to pull back than it is to teach them to be aggressive, right? The aggressiveness you can kind of coach and say, hey, like next time, take a look or wait a tick or be more sure of the player making. Whereas instead of saying, to someone who's maybe a little more hesitant to play that way, hey, go take a chance. It's easier to pull guys back than to push them forward. So I don't have a huge issue with it. Like Kaiser, there were a few plays where I'm like, dude, like Derek King says, you got to coach a junior out of him, where he had the puck, had an opportunity to clear, and then tried to make an extra move or stick handle to try to get himself in better position to get the puck out or maybe start a rush. But sometimes you're in your own zone, live to fight another day. You're going to get your chance. And I think the 2 times that Kaiser did that very obviously, they both led to turnovers, not goals or anything like that. But again, these are coachable things, and I guarantee you Luke Richardson already has those videos queued up for Wyatt Kaiser tomorrow.
Yeah. And, maybe, I still think he starts the year in Rockford. Vlasic looked good out there tonight.
Yes,
Korchinski and Allen and Kaiser are going to get the spotlight because they're the new toys.
Yeah.
Vlasic looked very good out there.
Vlasic is just so steady.
Right.
And
You don't notice him half the time, and that's exactly what you want out of your defenseman.
Exactly.
You only notice them like they're like offensive linemen in football. You only notice them when they do something really great or really bad. So
Vlasic, even everything. A hit, 2 shots, 17:32 of ice time. Interesting that he had the lowest ice time of any Hawks defenders. Now, some special teams in there, didn't get any power play time, as I think pretty much every other.
Was out there in overtime at all.
Yeah,
Vlasic was out there in 4-on-4 though.
Yeah,
there were. I don't know if it was just because it was his turn in the rotation or what, but I still think Kaiser starts the year in Rockford. Maybe not. But I think Vlasic is making the team. Korchinski is there. So
it's interesting.
Do you bring Kaiser up to maybe sit every other game because you got to play Zaitsev and Tenorti?
You don't have to play either of them.
You don't have to, but you're probably going to.
I have no loyalty towards Zaitsev at all.
Here's my thing about Kaiser. Is it more beneficial to him to start the year for him to play 21 minutes in Rockford every night, or play 12 minutes in Chicago and sit every third game?
You're right. Selfishly, I want him here.
Right.
But you're right. And I think because of the Korchinski CHL deal, Rockford's not an option for those that are joining us for the first time this offseason. He either goes back to Seattle or stays in Chicago. There's no Rockford for Korchinski. So I think because of that, he's definitely going to start the season here. I think as unfair as it might be, Kaiser is probably the odd man out to start the season unless they waive Zaitsev or I don't know. I think a lot of things can happen. I would say this, all things being equal, let's say Rockford was an option for Korchinski. I think it would be Vlasic and Kaiser.
Probably.
With Korchinski starting in Rockford.
If Rockford was an option for Korchinski, there's very little doubt he'd be there.
Yeah, and it's not to say, and sorry, the chat's coming fast and furious. Somebody said that Kaiser looked better than Korchinski tonight, and it wasn't a knock on Korchinski. I agree with that. But I just think that because of the way things are, I think Greg's right. I think that Kaiser probably will start in Rockford, but I don't think it's going to be long.
No. I mean, there's going to be injuries.
Yeah.
Jared Tenorti's going to use his face to kill a man again. Have to miss a month. It's going to happen. He'll be here. And just a shout out. We've got over 450 people watching on a Thursday of a pregame show.
Postgame.
Postgame show of a preseason game. Too
Yes,
many P's in that. Amazing stuff. But why do we only have 150 likes?
Yeah.
There's 450 people watching. Let's crank up those likes. We got a bunch of super chats to get to here. We appreciate all of them. We'll go start with the big dog. Nate, $50.
Ooh.
Episode 4, A New Hope. Yes, thank you so much, Nate, for your generosity there. And a Star Wars reference. The guy wearing the Star Wars shirt
exactly
appreciates that. This shirt, all my Roosevelts, they have names. They have unique names. This, if you can't really see it, it's a shirt of like the drawing boards for like some of the evil characters.
Yeah.
The shirt's called Building an Empire. I thought that was an appropriate shirt to wear on Connor Bedard.
Damn right it is. Love that.
We also got some other super chats. $2 from our guy, Windy City Hockey. Our Pudwack did what he's getting paid for. You're damn right he is. $2 from Kerry Franklin. Marcel, very impressive game. Yes, I think he's going to be very effective for the Ice Hogs. You picked.
He was my guy.
He was your Hawk tonight.
He was all right.
He was noticeable.
Yeah.
Big guy that can play. He's got some skill, and he's not afraid to just bulldoze you over.
Shot on goal, 3 hits, 50% at the dot, 9:45 of ice time.
If he gets to be a regular NHL, he's going to be one of the most popular players.
Oh, man.
His personality
is great, too.
Yes,
yeah.
He's going to be a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Our guy, Alan K., $5. See you guys in Pitt. We'll be in town Sunday, game night. We'll have the best coffee shops report for you. That we need. Yes.
Well, we need
breakfast and coffee.
We need to figure out production meeting on the air here, something between the morning skate and the game to meet up with some people that are out there.
Yeah, we should maybe. Yeah.
And do I buy a Mario Lemieux jersey?
I get a Yarmer Yager jersey.
Okay, fine. That's fine. We'll talk about it on the plane.
Yeah. Did we have one more super chat there? I thought maybe. Yes.
Yeah, one more.
Brendan Sikora, where you guys see Nolan Allen development path? I think he's a Rockford guy to start the year, but promising. Luke Richardson did not rule out him making the team a couple days ago, which I love from him.
It's just a numbers game for him.
Yeah, it is. If this was last year, but he was at this point of his development, he might have had a better chance to play up here. A year in Rockford with Del Mastro is going to be great for both of those guys. But we may see him at some point.
I'd be surprised if we don't, quite frankly.
It's a long season. I bet you he makes his NHL debut at some point this year. But basically playing most of the season in the AHL and hopefully getting a deep AHL playoff run will do wonders for him.
Definitely. All right, we're going to take our first break of the show, but stick with us. We're going to be back here in a moment. Make sure you smash that like button, and we're going to tell you about our friends at Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. You're feeling good. You're home. You're got back from the UC, or you just turned off the game. Kick back, light one up, chew one down, whatever you want to do. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping.
When did I walk into a Cypress Hill song?
A place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. And I like to remind people now and again that, even though cannabis is legal, the process of going in to buy some can be a little bit intimidating. Maybe you've never been in a dispensary before, or you don't want to go in there and sound like you don't know what you're talking about. Look, I've been into several dispensaries, and I had the same feeling too, because before it was legal, it was like whatever someone had with them. I didn't know what it was. It was fine. Is this a friend? Someone I trust? They got it? Great. Let's go.
Sometimes you didn't even know who they were.
Exactly. Now you can a la carte your experience from I just need to sleep, or I have social anxiety, or I want to have a great time tonight. Whatever you're looking for, Sunnyside has the people there to help you elevate your life and your football season. It's Illinois' favorite dispensary with good reason, and I'm going to recommend to you two of my favorite brands. Number one, the Mindy's edibles are just absolutely incredible. The black cherry edibles are just to eat one of those, and you are good to go for the rest of the night. And the good news, counting sheep are an absolute lifesaver for me. I've never, since the day I was born, I've never been a good sleeper, and I've had trouble sleeping through the night. And now on this show, with our schedules as they are, where we're at practice in the morning or we're late at night at the game, it's all over the place, so sleep is even more elusive than it's been before. Those counting sheep gummies are absolutely lifesavers. But other great brands, Cresco, High Supply, and more. Through October 15th, head to sunnyside.shop and use code CHGO25 at checkout for 25% off your total order, one use per customer. This is not stackable with other promotions, but it's not only for new customers. Anyone can use that code. Pick up everything you need to elevate your football season. Must be 21 plus or an Illinois MedCard holder.
What's perfect after a victory doobie, as somebody in the chat just said? How about some victory bacon? I mean,
oh, hell yes.
I mean, pot and bacon, like peanut butter and jelly.
They go together.
Natural allies. Yep. And now I get the pleasure of telling you about our guy, Charlie, the bacon guy, who's based out of Woodridge, Illinois, and makes craft bacon and bacon jams in over 30 flavors. This product is always all natural, no fancy preservatives. Go ahead and order lots of bacon. Amazing stuff. It's vacuum sealed and freezes great. Bacon will last in its package up to 45 days in the fridge and 6 months in the freezer. And the bacon jam lasts about 60 days in the fridge, usually only about 20 seconds at my house, and up to 6 months in the freezer. If you don't know what bacon jam is, it's basically like the most amazing thing in the world. It's like high quality bacon bits, but like mashed together in a spreadable form with different flavors.
Yes.
I'm getting aroused just talking about it.
We cleaned our fridge today. As I was telling you at the game, we found some bacon jam. We're like, oh no, we have to polish this off.
Yeah. Charlie made me a special order of shawarma flavored bacon.
Ooh, hell yeah.
And we had it the other night. We cooked it up and we just put it in pitas with tzatziki sauce. So it was like baking heroes. They were phenomenal. Some of the other great flavors he has that we enjoy, the maple pepper, the French toast, chorizo, giardiniera. There's the ranch bacon and the rosemary bacon is one of my favorite. The rosemary bacon in a BLT sandwich without the L or the T is phenomenal. Bacon jam goes perfectly on anything in scrambled eggs, toast, crackers, burgers, grilled cheese, or Charlie's favorite, the spoon. He will deliver it right to you, meet you halfway, or even ship it. You will get your bacon on time. So you can follow Charlie the Bacon Guy and contact him on Instagram at Charlie the Bacon Guy. On Twitter, we don't call it X around here, at CZ the Bacon Guy. Or you can email charliethebaconguy@gmail.com. And there's a website coming soon. And Charlie's going to be the guy that gives us our Who's Your Hawk wearable trophy that we're going to have to decorate accordingly. So thank you, Charlie, for not only being our sponsor, being our bacon guy, but being our friend.
All right, let's update the 4-star voting. If you want to get your vote in, do it soon. Once Mario's here, we're going to reveal it. Our 4-star of the night nominee is Drew Commesso, Corey Perry, Kevin Korchinski. Korchinski leading with 54% of the vote. Corey Pudwack with 20%, and Drew Commesso with 26%. Let's talk about Commesso a little bit.
I voted for him for the 4-star.
So did I. And lets in one goal, but not his fault.
That was a goal by a legit NHL player in Robert Thomas, and that shot would have beat 85% of the goalies in the league. You can't get mad at him for that.
To see a guy come in ice cold halfway through the game, after the period had begun, and just be ready to go was impressive. And look, I think we qualify all these things by saying it's a preseason game, level of competition, qualifier, right? Of course. But the thing that I've always liked about Commesso from watching him in development camp and checking some of his BU games is he's just very calm. He is not a noisy goaltender.
Very little wasted movement in the crease.
Yes, and
Corey Crawford-ish.
I was gonna say that, and I feel like we say the same thing about Arvid Soderblom a little bit, but in a different way. Soderblom physically looks like Corey Crawford, right? Like the way, and it also has to do with his goaltending style, but with the poise of Commesso, and for a guy on the NHL ice for the first time to be confident enough to throw a couple poke checks and to make some pad saves and blocker saves and like be ready for that rebound. The first real test that he had in the game, Pavel Buchnevich had a shot right in the slot. Big booming shot right off the pad. Like he was ready, he was square in that position. Like I know they talk a lot about Drew Commesso, he's not your ideal size for a goalie, but guess what? If the dude's positioning is sound and his flexibility is sound, which we know he's been heavily into yoga, especially this offseason, he's ready to go. Like I've just been really impressed with this poise. I don't know how much of him we'll see this year at the NHL level.
We'll see a lot.
Yeah, but he'll be carrying the load for Rockford, and maybe as soon as next year he's ready to make the jump to the NHL. Yeah. And then you see how Soderblom pans out this year, and you've got a pretty solid 1-2 tandem.
You do, and his best save of the night came. He moved from his right to left quickly to stop a one-timer from Zachary Bolduc in the was that the third period? Yes, that was in the third period, or no? Yes, third period. Mm-hmm. I can't remember anything. So that was great. So he made 16 saves on 17 shots. You know, Peter Mrazek only faced 8 shots for his half of the game.
And he, to be fair, he looked good too.
Yeah, he wasn't.
They did miss the net a bunch of times.
They did. Yeah, it's funny how that worked. They missed the net on Mrazek, but they went right at Commesso, and that might have something to do with like, hey, we got a veteran, we got to try something a little different here. Maybe the report on Mrazek is shoot high. That's why they were missing. Or Commesso, they're just like, just get it on net. He's a rookie. Yeah. Let's bombard him. You don't have to try for a perfect shot, maybe. But he was very good. I liked what I saw out of him. You know, I don't know if we'll see him in the NHL. Well, you never know. We had Dylan Wells start for the Blackhawks last year, so you never know. You gotta assume there's gonna be a need for a call up at some point with Peter Mrazek's recent injury history. It's a long season. I wonder if Comesso gets that first call-up, or do they give it to Stauber, who's technically the number 2 in Rockford, but he's done it before.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Let
Stauber was phenomenal in the AHL.
Sure.
Don't look at his AHL numbers, but he was phenomenal.
He played really well when he got up here, yeah.
So maybe they give it to him because, A, he's been there, and that doesn't take away any development time from Comesso.
Yeah, just let Comesso carry the load.
And then maybe you give Comesso a start or two at the end of the year as a reward to say, hey, you played really good this year. Come up, spend a week in the NHL, eat NHL meals, get off the bus for a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a couple games, and then we'll send you back down for the playoffs.
One more thing I want to make sure we get to here before Mario joins us from the UC, and he'll do that momentarily. A couple of people in the comments sort of talking about how some of the veterans looked. Like Hagley, says that Taylor Hall looked a bit off the pace. Will bounce back in the game, he's hoping. And I saw someone say didn't see much from Nick Foligno. These guys are longtime NHL players. Yeah. They're treating the preseason differently from the kids. These kids are trying to make this team. They're trying to make an impression. Luke Richardson knows what he has in Taylor Hall and Corey Perry and Nick Foligno and Connor Murphy. Seth Jones, who had a real rough start but solidified as the game went on. Like, these guys are just working themselves into game shape. They're getting their conditioning up. And remember, Taylor Hall missed a few days of camp this week too, so he's working himself back as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about the vets here. These guys have their own pace of getting back into NHL play. And look, I really don't want to see Taylor Hall throwing his body all over the place to block a shot in a preseason
Taylor
game.
Hall is probably spending most of his night out there taking mental notes. This is his first time playing with Connor Bedard in preseason games. He's out there just probably trying to figure out the best way for him to get on the attack when Bedard has the puck. I'm not worried about Taylor Hall. I'm not worried about Nick Foligno. Nick Foligno, after that Mysiak play where Perry won over the hearts of Blackhawk fans, the physicality picked up. And Foligno was dishing out some hits.
Yes, he was.
Nick Foligno was doing what Nick Foligno does. He's not going to show up on the score sheet a lot of nights.
Look, he's going to have 30, 35 points this year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's not here for points.
Correct.
He's here to be a physical player, and he's here for what he brings off the ice. Just listen to either of the two post-practice scrums he's had this week. That's what he's here for.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about either of those guys. As you said, the vets, I think the veterans for these games are like, okay, I'm going to get my game legs going, and I'm going to try and not get injured.
Correct.
I'm getting out of here healthy and got my cardio up. Those are the two things they're trying to do in the preseason. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. This preseason is to kind of get our first taste of Connor Bedard, and it was a wonderful taste.
Tastes like bacon.
And then it's also to get these young kids acclimated, and we gotta dish out some roster spots. The veteran that kind of didn't do a whole lot tonight that is fighting for a roster spot, Reese Johnson. I would wanted to see more from him.
Yeah.
That's a guy that's
had a pretty wide open net and just missed too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not counting on him to score, but you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
He looks slow. Like struggling to keep up with the plays and like
that's the thing overall. I made them mention it earlier, but then we got so excited about Connor Bedard. It's probably going to happen a lot this year. The overall team speed has improved so much.
Oh yeah,
it's noticeable right off the belt. Right off the bat, you're like, oh my God, this team is really fast. Where last year they had trouble keeping up with fast teams. So. Yeah, Reese Johnson's going to look a lot slower on this year's Hawks compared to last year's Hawks, but I wanted to see him do something that made you go, okay, you can't keep him off the roster. Because he brings the physicality, but now that you have Foligno and you have Tenorti, what does he do?
And it's not like he's a enforcer by default because he doesn't have the skill to do anything else.
Right.
It's not like he's a guy who strikes fear in the hearts of opponents. He's just the most willing to drop the gloves.
So we'll see what happens. Colin Blackwell has not skated yet.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm assuming Saturday night in Minnesota, we'll see Mackenzie Entwistle. I think that last roster spot is going to come down to Mackenzie Entwistle, Boris Tkachuk, and Reese Johnson. So we're going to see Tkachuk in Entwistle this weekend. Let's see what they want to do. Though one of those three guys has to take that spot. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm rooting for Mackenzie Entwistle.
Me too.
Because I really like Mackenzie
And I also
Entwistle.
think if you're looking at NHL futures, that's the guy who's probably got, I mean, I guess Kachuk had a really nice finish to the year last year and has shown a little bit of offense. But
which Kachuk is the real Kachuk? That guy we saw for the last 6 weeks or the guy we saw for the first 4 months?
And it's also what you always say about building a team or building a
team,
not a
not
roster.
filling a roster.
Not filling a roster, yeah. And you're going to need a Mackenzie Entwistle more than you're going to need a Boris Kachuk. And people in the chat talking about how fast the team looks. They do. And just wait until Frank Nazar and Oliver Moore arrive. And we should talk about the goal scorers in this game. That line of Reichel, Kurashev, and Athanasiou. Reichel had a moment or two that really stood out. One where he blew past a Blues defender, cut around, drove to the net, had a nice scoring chance. Athanasiou, obviously, with the overtime winner. Philipp Kurashev with the first goal of the game. I really think that line's going to do well. I saw a couple people who were a little, didn't think they saw enough from Reichel. I don't know. I thought he was fine. I mean, you're not going to make a huge impact in every game you're in, but Reichel finished the game with only one shot on goal. More concerning for me is the face-off percentage. He only won 14.3% of his face-offs. We don't have the full game summary anymore for whatever reason. NHL.com took that away.
It's probably just maybe because of preseason.
I hope so. But usually we can see every face-off taken, and I could tell you what his wins and losses was, but I'm not seeing that.
My guess is they
now.
don't track that because they don't even have blocked shots as a stat in the box score. So I'm thinking they probably only had the bare minimum as far as NHL officials in the booth to score.
Right.
So hopefully they'll, because they didn't even have, usually they'll print out the game summary or event summary page in the press box and you can grab it, but they didn't even have that.
Yeah,
so
there was nothing.
I don't think they're doing it in the preseason.
Yeah. What'd you think of Ryan Donato in this one?
Shoot!
Yeah.
Shoot!
Yeah, please.
There were a lot of time. There were 3 or 4 times, including late in the third period of a tie game, that he's in close, but instead of trying to maybe go short side on an ECHL goalie, he takes the puck around the net and is looking to pass. Otherwise, he was fine. It wasn't great, wasn't awful, but I'm thinking he maybe fell in love with I've got Taylor Hall and Connor Bedard on my line. I got to pass.
Yeah.
If the shot's there, take it, my guy.
Yes.
Take it. He reminded me of Max Domi. How many times early last year were we yelling at Max Domi to shoot the freaking puck?
Often.
And then eventually he figured it out. Hey, I got a good shot. I should probably use it more often. Let them get a nice contract in Toronto.
Mario standing by, according to Natural Stat Trick, I don't know how accurate this is. Reichel 1-1, lost 5. Connor Bedard 1-6, lost 2. But that percentage of 75 for Bedard doesn't match up with what NHL.com had. So it's preseason.
He was 6 of 8 at one point.
Yeah.
They showed it on TV. That was a third period, but he took a couple faceoffs in overtime.
Yeah, so these can't be complete. All right. Before we get to Mario, Greg's going to tell you about Ray.
Yes, I am. Once I figure out which one of the Rays I am.
It's the CDJR one.
It is. All right. All the letters. I love the one with all the letters. It's preseason for us, too. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, if you are, then we've got great news for you. Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fox Lake have just joined the CHGO team. They are hopped on the ride. They are catching Connor Bedard fever. At Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and find unforgettable savings. And right now, during Jeep Adventure Days at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Fox Lake, you'll be able to take up to 15% off MSRP on all new 2023 Jeep Gladiator models, Russell Crowe's favorite car. And that's not all. Now, through September 30th, explore their newly renovated showroom and take advantage of breathtaking deals as they celebrate their grand reopening. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram because they're the only team that we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, you can visit the brand new showroom in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com today, serving the community since 1963.
Speaking of hops, Goose Island. CHGO is supported, thank you, by Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer since 1988. It's Oktoberfest because it's September. I don't know. Explain that to me. You've got the whole Beer Hug family of beers, which are delicious, and they will make you feel buzzed nice and easy. My favorite, the 312 Wheat Ale, and the Full Pocket Pills. That's the everyday beer, and that's what the Goose Island Brewers are drinking. I love the 312. I love the Green Line. Man, they got so much good stuff from Goose Island. You should get some. Grab an ultra-fresh, brewery-exclusive beer at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Get yourself some Goose Island to celebrate a Blackhawks win. Even if it's the preseason, you don't need a good reason to drink Goose. Get some Goose Island Beer Company beer, Chicago's beer.
Sorry, I had to laugh. We had a comment from Matt. Drive a Jeep, much safer than the Toyota that exploded and killed Entwistle's family.
Good Lord. All right. We might need to explain that because I'm sure we have some
We have a lot of
first-timers.
I'm sure we do.
Yes. We have over 400
Still
people
over
watching us
400
right now. And smash that like button, please. If you're in here, hit the like button. But first game of last year, we're in Denver. I know some of you know the story. Just forgive us.
Still a good story.
And we talked to Mackenzie Entwistle, and he was talking about how some guys have families and being on the road is tough. And he's like, I don't have a family. So for the entire year, we ran with the fact that he was an orphan. He's not actually an orphan. He does have a family. If you tweet about him, his family will find you. But it is our recurring joke that Mackenzie Entwistle is an orphan. His family is alive and well.
Right. Yes.
Nothing has happened.
They
but
follow us on Twitter.
It's a joke we will say and continue to say.
And we even
for
shared
the rest
it
of
with
history.
Mackenzie Entwistle. He
Yes.
was on our show at the end of the year, and he was kind of like, oh, okay, that totally makes sense now, because I was getting some weird comments
Yes.
about like my foster parents or something. So yes, we're the idiots that caused that to happen.
All right, well, we've got some news before we bring in Mario. Nick Lardis, Martin Mishiak, and Alex Ferrand have been returned to their junior clubs.
All right. Well, Martin Misiak is the guy that got Chicago
hit hard.
Blackhawks fans to love Corey Perry. So he did his job,
All right,
and now he's back to juniors.
without further ado, let's bring in the most handsome of the three of us. Mario Tirabassi is out at the United Center. That beard, Mario, that's what put you over the top.
Scoops Zawaski over here.
Yeah, I checked my email.
Wow, nice. Yeah, hey, that was quite the preseason hockey game, was it not?
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It was the best preseason hockey game I've been to in quite a long time.
Yeah, it was the most recent one I've been to. Look, it was a good game as far as, players that you wanted to see a little bit of like the good and what they need to work on. Like even Connor Bedard, as great as he played tonight, still holds himself to a standard that he said, I didn't play a good game. He had both primary assists. He played over 20 minutes. He created a number of offensive chances, and he was a plus at the faceoff dot. Like, from an outsider's perspective, I don't know how much more of a better preseason debut you could have asked for, other than he scored every time he shot the puck. But down the line, Bedard, Korchinski, Wyatt Kaiser, Drew Comezzo in his half of a game, like all things that, good things you wanted to see, but also things that you can say like, hey, these guys can work on these things. Lucas Reichel too, had some positives and some things that, he'll need to work on. It's what you want to come out of preseason game one with is, positive things on tape, and then things that you can go back to, look at the tape and work on as the preseason goes on. So getting the overtime win was just a cherry on top. Love to send the Blues home sad. So yeah, it was, for as scrambly and sloppy of a game as it was, it probably came out with as best of a result as the Blackhawks and Luke Richardson could have hoped for.
Did you have any specific comments on some of the play of the young defensemen? We started the show talking about, Wyatt Kaiser namely making a couple extra moves here or there to make the perfect play that kind of backfired on him. Was he specific with any analysis?
Yeah, he talked both about Kaiser and Korchinski after the game. He talked about, on the positive side, how engaged they were offensively. He pointed out Korchinski's skating ability and how that helped create the game's opening goal with Philipp Kurashev being able to score on the rebound of that play. But he pointed out Korchinski's skating ability, his offensive instincts, and being able to jump in. But also for both of those guys, he noted that the idea of having to make sure you get back and make sure you get back in positions when you do that is something that they'll have to keep working on and learn. And I think the biggest thing with guys like Kaiser and Korchinski is just making sure that they're acclimated to the speed of the game. Not only can you create with your speed, but you're also going to have to use that speed to make up for when maybe you're creating an offensive chance. We talked about it earlier this week about how the defensemen, that they're going to have the green light to create offense when they see fit necessary. So with that comes the need to get back on defense, because you're creating a spot that needs to be filled. When you do that, and a forward's going to do that. Now, if the forward can handle it, that's great. But they're not defensemen; they're forwards. So they're there as a placeholder. You have to get back and get back into your position and your assignment. So that's definitely something that those young guys and Richardson pointed out that they'll continue to need to work on. But he came away with this game with some things that they can already show in tape sessions and be able to learn from. Net positive though on the young defenseman, which is good to hear from Richardson in game 1 of the preseason.
I find it really funny that Bedard thought he didn't have a good game. Maybe it's just the humble nature of.
He's going to say that after every game.
Yeah, I think
no matter,
you're right.
He'll have a 6-point night on opening night and be like, yeah, well, I lost that one face-off in the third period, so I got to try harder next time. That's who he is.
So our friends at HockeyStatCards.com using.
Are these the Blue Lions?
These are the Blue Lions people using a number of metrics from individual expected goals for, expected goals against, etc. Come up with a composite game score for everybody after the game. Connor Bedard was the highest rated player for either team. His game score was 2.94. The next closest player was Philipp Kurashev with a 1.99. So almost a full point better than Philipp Kurashev. Here are your top 5 players, top 7 players in this game. Hawks and Blues. Bedard, Kurashev, Korchinski, Jones, Athanasiou, Allen, Taylor Hall. There's your top 7 in this game.
Suck it, St. Louis.
The only players with negative game scores: Martin Misiak, Drew Comesso, but whatever, he gave up a goal on limited chances, and Nick Foligno and Corey Perry.
Okay.
That's it.
So the third line.
The third line, which is your checking line,
right? Which
is out against the best competition most of the time.
Yeah.
But it's just that Connor Bedard was so far and above the best player in this game that even the numbers back it up. The eye test, these numbers confirm what the eye test showed all of us. And we were talking before the show, Mario, and I maybe led you into it a little bit, but would you agree that he was the best player on the ice for either team? Sure looked like it.
100%. Yeah, we come into this season with tons of expectations for him, and I came into this game thinking if he doesn't look like the best player on the ice, that's okay. I'm also going to be surprised because he's shown through the lead up to the draft and looking at how he played in the prospect tournament. Look how he played so far at training camp. He has looked like everything that we're expecting him to be. And he came into this game and was making defensive plays on top of all of the, offensive creativity that he brought. He was, Luke Richardson pointed out his ability to play a 200-foot game, which is what is going to allow him to stick as a center in this league. Like, yeah, he's not the tallest guy, but he's built very sturdy. And for all the offensive creativity that he has, he's not Patrick Kane defensively. He's a guy that you can play at center who, can play a 200-foot game. His skating ability allows him to do that. His energy level allows him to do that. Yeah, he's 18. He's got all the energy in the world. But, Luke Richardson spoke about how he's calm on the bench and he's never out of breath and never wants to leave the ice. I mean, take advantage of that youthful exuberance as much as you can. But he's going to be able to have that motor to play a full 200-foot game and be responsible defensively. He made a great play on Colton Parayko, a guy who we have mentioned on this show before, not having the answer for Bedard, but he stripped Colton Parayko, a long-time NHL defenseman, of a puck and turned it into a breakaway chance that he wasn't able to convert, but it was a chance nonetheless. He tied up the stick on I don't remember who it was, probably the guy who was wearing Ryan Reeves' number, but prevented a scoring chance that looked like it was going to be an open shot, tied up the stick and was able to make the defensive play there. So it's not just the things that show up on the highlight reel that you say, oh, he played well. It's also his defensive game, which I think as we go through the preseason and get into the regular season is going to be something that is going to come to be part of the spotlight for his game. All the highlight reel goals, all the highlight reel stick moves and passes and everything that he does is great. But having the defensive awareness that he does and the ability to defend and be responsible with his defensive assignments is just a cherry on top.
It's what I love about him is he is so like, I don't know if it's his attempt to stay humble. It's like he's hell-bent on being a complete player, where we've seen skilled players come into the league before as they are and be like, hey, man, it's not my game. My game's to score goals. My game's to set up passes. There's a guy here who's going to have his number retired. He's going to have a statue. He's going to have it. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, Patrick Kane, who came in the league and said, I'm Patrick Kane. You drafted me to be Patrick Kane. I'm going to be Patrick Kane. And I'm going to help you with all the offense, and the piano will arrive when defense, and it's fine. It worked out. It got the Hawks 3 Stanley Cups, got him a Conn Smythe, got him an MVP. Great.
Putting him in the Hall of Fame.
But Bedard has this burning desire to be the best. It's crazy. It's almost funny. Like, come on, dude. Like, I got to see if I make the team first. Like, come on, man.
It's like you somehow smushed Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane together.
Yeah.
You got the high dynamic skill that Kane had, albeit different. Like,
yeah, different.
Connor Bedard is going to be a better goal scorer than Patrick Kane. I don't think there's a lot of debate about that with that shot. Kane probably a better playmaker, but
right.
We'll see. But he's got that. Not that Kane wasn't competitive. Patrick Kane's one of the most competitive players to ever play. But Jonathan Toews is drive and obsession to be the best player was well stated. So it's kind of like he's got that both in the one player. To have a kid that's got that much natural ability, but want to get better every day, it's special. And he's going to get better. That's the scary thing. That was one NHL preseason game. Imagine like what this is going to look like in 3-4 years. It'll be scary good. Well, scary good.
I know we got a chance to hear from Connor Bedard after the game. Mario, anything we should know before we play this video?
I didn't know you guys didn't play the video yet. Yeah, there was an unnamed member of the media with a snafu right at the beginning of the video, but it's okay. Well, it's all preseason for everybody, but Bedard's humility definitely shines through. You'll hear it. His go-to line of, well, I still have to make the team. He made that comment as well still, but yeah, I mean, I will say, we'll hear all his comments, but the takeaway that I appreciated was that he seems to be getting looser in the discussions with the media. It doesn't seem like he's sick of us yet, but he's gonna see our faces a lot in the coming days and years. So it's 5 minutes, and it's actually very insightful to the game and to himself as well. So yeah, let's take a listen.
All right.
Let's go.
Get off the logo. You're not walking the logo.
Put the logo on it.
100 push-ups or donuts tomorrow.
So how did it feel out there?
It was good. It was a lot of fun to get out there. Really cool moment, kind of going on the ice for the first time. Obviously the anthem and everything, and it's a bit of a scrambly game. I thought, not really much flow, but I think that's us getting into it. And personally, I think I got a lot better.
Did anything surprise you, the speed, pace, any of that, or were you kind of expecting it to be?
I don't know, a surprise. Maybe just kind of. Obviously that's one, but that's nothing that I would expect. So just kind of get used to it here. It's good we have some more preseason.
Walk us through that game winner of Athanasiou.
Yeah, I mean, I saw he was half his own behind the guy, and I was 100% sure he was going to beat him. So he can fly, and just kind of tried to lay one in there, and he made a really nice play. So, yeah.
Looked like in overtime you just avoided making eye contact with the bench a couple times to stay on. Did you just want to stay out there until it ended?
Yeah, I like hockey, so want to be on the ice, try to circle the face-off spot a little bit. But yeah, I mean, played 3-on-3 probably 5-6 days a week in the summer with everyone back home, so it's probably the most fun thing in my life. So yeah, I didn't want to get off.
Kind of during the anthem, everybody else is standing straight, and I saw you shifting back and forth. Is that something you normally do, or those like excitement jitters or anything like that?
Yeah, it's just kind of what I always do. Obviously, it was really cool though. People were telling me about it, and that's probably half of what it is at a regular season or a playoff game, of course. So that was pretty special, and for us to get the turnout we did from the fans is awesome.
How did it feel in the face-off circle?
Thought I did pretty good. I was obviously Thomas a lot of the night, and he changed it up a lot, which kind of is something that I got to get used to. He's going to do a lot of different things. Kind of everyone in the league, they're so smart and everything. But overall, I don't know what my percentage was, but it felt like I won a decent amount.
How do you put a lot of hype? Did you watch anything around, like the video board or the fans or anything like that?
Try not to. Sometimes I like those like little car races on the jumbotron. They didn't have them today, but I get caught watching those a lot. But not too much today. Just kind of focusing on the game.
Connor, you played a lot of high pressure games in junior. How does this one compare to those?
I don't know. I mean, I think pressure's something that is good. If you have pressure on you, you're in a good situation, and it's kind of how I look at it. And I mean, it is a preseason game in the end. There's not a crazy amount of pressure, but like I said, it was good to play, and I think I got a lot better than that out of myself. Hopefully coming forward, but it was a good start.
What's your routine after the game?
Stretch, you get your body, eat and stuff, and just try to make yourself feel good. Obviously, it's the games are tiring, and you're burning a lot of calories and everything. So just try to get your body feeling good when you're obviously the season's a lot of games and everything. So you're playing a lot. So just try to take advantage when you can.
I know it's just one game, but after a week of practice and everything, did you like pretty much overall how everything went tonight?
Like I said, I think I could be a lot better. I didn't really think I personally played great. It's really good to get the win, obviously preseason, but nothing's better than winning. But like I said, I felt good in the systems though, which was a good thing. In the D zone, I thought I felt pretty good and comfortable and stuff. But like I said, I think I could do a lot better.
What was the personal in-person audience for you? I know your dad's been with you for a few days. Any other family come out?
No, my dad was here. Kid I grew up playing with, his dad was down here for something, so he came and watched and with my dad. But it was good to have my dad here. Of course, he's been here for a couple of days, obviously wanting to watch this one, so it's fortunate I was in the lineup tonight. But it was good that he was able to see. I think he'll have maybe more goosebumps than anyone with how intense he is watching the game.
How long is he going to be here?
Like a couple more days. He's leaving this weekend, so it was good. Obviously, whenever family can come down and stuff, and my mom and sister came for 2-3 days at the start. Kind of helped set everything up for me. I don't want to do that, but it's always good when you can be with family.
Is there any last one for Connor?
Frustration when you had some of those close chances before, something.
I mean, of course you wanna score, but I mean, I'm confident in myself and my ability and everything, and I think for me it's I can be hard on myself, but to obviously getting chances is a good thing, and I think I had a few tonight, not as many as I would have liked, but I think that's a positive. Whether it goes in the net or not, obviously in the end, you want them to go on the net, and that's kind of what for me what I want to do is just be able to produce. But when you get those chances and looks, I think it's positive, and just kind of try to erase the memory and go out next shift and try to create something else.
Did you get any comment or text from King or James or anybody today? So good luck.
Not today, no. I mean, I got lots kind of throughout the summer after I was drafted and everything, and they've been great with that, reaching out and everything. And yeah, maybe come regular season if I make the team. And but yeah, nothing today.
Thanks, Connor.
Thanks, Connor.
I like that. Thanks, Connor. Okay, Steiny, calm down.
Hey, when you go one question past the last question warning, you get you get a loud Steinmiller. But
you get slapped in the face.
Just so everyone knows, there's no one has liver damage in the room. I don't know why the lighting changed from the video on my phone when I sent it, but yeah. No, I mean, look, like you hear it from him how at the end there, yeah, if I make the team, like, dude, like,
come on, man.
I appreciate the commitment to the bit. If there's anyone who can appreciate a commitment to a bit, it's this group of,
he should do it every year.
Guys here. But man, like, I cannot wait for October 10th so that bit can end and he can just be like, oh yeah, I'm an NHL player.
All right, Mario, good work, man. Thanks for sending the video. One down, lots more to go.
Hey, what was the final score on our fantasy hockey?
Okay,
game?
Who's your Hawk?
Yeah,
you're not gonna like the way this ended. All right.
I mean, I had the overtime winner.
You did, but we have our point system. It's a good thing we discussed that tiebreaker in the press box because it came down to the tiebreaker.
Be the biggest blue line.
So, well, I'd still win.
Yeah.
So anyway, here we each going to pick a player before each game, and then you get 2 points for every goal, 1 point for every assist. You get an extra point if either of those came on a special teams play, and an extra 2 points if your goal or assist came on the game-winning goal. So Andreas Athanasiou was Mario's pick. I had Connor Bedard. You had Marcel Marcel.
What a brave pick for you.
Hey, I had the second pick. Mario had first pick. He was on to something.
I picked it. Not just a hat rack up here, but I picked Athanasiou before I knew I had the first pick. Jay had yet to spin the wheel of Jay in our chat group, but
I sent video proof, and I got the last pick. Do not besmirch namepicker.com.
So, anywho, based on our scoring, and Andreas Athanasiou 2 points for the goal, an extra 2 points for the game winner, 4 points. Connor Bedard had 2 assists, that's 2 points, but he gets an extra 2 points because the second assist came on the game winner. So they both had 4 points.
Wait, you get extra 2 points on an assist on the game winning goal?
The bonus gets added to either a goal or an assist, no matter what. If it's on a goal, if it's on a game winner, those were the rules we agreed upon before the game started. We could amend these before the regular season. But those are the rules we agreed upon. Then we decided our tiebreaker is the combined number of plus minus shots on goal and hits. And we did block shots too, but block shots was not a category listed in the box score tonight for whatever reason. So yeah. So when we add those numbers together, Athanasiou had 4 shots, 0 hits, and a +1 for 5. Connor Bedard had 5 shots, 1 hit, and was a +2 for 8. So in the tiebreaker, it's 8-5. I win. But it's only preseason, so this doesn't go to the season standings. We're washing out the standings for the start of the regular season.
Not confusing at all.
We can work out the kinks.
It's preseason for everything, including this new segment.
All I know is I won. So, and then
Jay, I will say though, Jay, for your pick, Marcel, he was pointed out by Luke Richardson as well after the game as having a big impact. He was actually the first of the non-Connor Bedard players.
That's 9 bonus points in our scoring system. I win.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Mario. Thanks, man. We'll see you Saturday.
Yep. See you Saturday.
That is Mario Tirabassi from the United Center. Follow him on Twitter at Mario_Tirabassi. Before we wrap up, we've got to tell you who the 4th star of the game was, as voted by you, the chat people.
The chat people.
With 416 votes, that's
a lot of votes.
That's more votes than likes. Just saying. Number 3. Well, I guess this would be number 6 star of the night is Corey Perry with 19% of the vote.
He should have got more votes.
Number 5 star of the night is Drew Comesso with 28% of the vote.
Should have got more votes.
And your number 4 star of the game, as voted by you, our lovely listeners, Kevin Korchinski with 53% of the vote. Good vote. All those guys had reason to win it. Just to recap Korchinski's night: an assist, a +1, 2 penalty minutes, 3 shots on goal, 21:08 of ice time. So there you have it.
Lots and lots of smooth skating.
Absolutely right. All right, before we wrap up, speaking of smooth, you want a nice, clear picture for your sports viewing experience? FuboTV.com/CHGO. Go there for 140 live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. You can stream live TV from any device, watch the most Chicago sports for the lowest price, and start watching immediately with a free trial. FuboTV.com/CHGO. There's no contract. There's no cable. There's no hassle. Just sign up and start watching. 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge, and watch your local teams while traveling. That is clutch. College football, Big Ten, NFL Network, Red Zone, all that great stuff is there for you at Fubo TV. Watch all your favorite college football and the NFL with Fubo. Go to FuboTV.com/CHGO to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. We do have some super chats to pay off before we wrap up. $5 from Mark says, a little something, something. Thanks for getting us through the summer, and put those shades on because the future looks bright. That's right, those shady rays. And JG with a $10 super chat says, just dropped in to show my support. I always listen to you guys during work to make my day a little better. Missed the post games, and great work. Thank you, JG.
Appreciate
Thanks to
that.
everybody.
Yeah. Over 450 people.
Unbelievable.
Over 300 likes for a preseason post-game show. I mean, that gets me pumped up for a great season. All 88 games of it.
It's going to be
this
great.
is one of our most viewed in-studio shows, not the draft, obviously, since the draft lottery.
Yeah, probably.
For a preseason game. Let's see if Saturday's post-game show has the same numbers with likely no Connor Bedard and no TV. But
we'll see.
Yeah, we will be post-gaming. We're off tomorrow. No show tomorrow. Post-game shows both Saturday and Sunday night. Saturday's game is not being broadcast locally, but it's being broadcast in Minnesota, so it should be available on ESPN Plus.
Yes.
We will watch the game, and we will have a live post-game show for both games, Saturday and Sunday.
And not to be a shill for the four-letter network by any means, but if you're a hockey fan, get ESPN Plus.
Yes.
It's like $5 a month, and you get pretty much every game that's not being televised locally.
NHL Center Ice or NHL.TV used to be like $160 for the whole season. You get the same thing for $5-6 a month. Plus, you're going to get a ton of college hockey.
I mean, it's like having amazing. The Ocho at your fingertips.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah, it's totally worth it if you're a hockey fan or just a sports fan. I started watching the PK Subban show, the PK's Places.
Mm-hmm.
It's like inspired by the Peyton Manning's version. Pretty good. PK Subban, entertaining. Who knew?
I like PK Subban.
Andrew Shaw doesn't think so. No. All right, let's wrap things up.
Speaking of Pud Wax.
Thanks to Steven for running the show. Thanks to all of you for being here. Seriously, we are blown away by how many people stuck around on a Thursday night after a preseason game for some Hawks talk. Lots more to go, folks. We're just getting started, so thank you. I want to thank Mario for jumping on, and for Greg, I'm Jay. Thanks for watching and listening to the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.